They ignored the fact that you got chartered flights because of this girl. They ignored the fact that ratings were going through the roof because of this girl. Instead, they resented it because they said, yo, we were doing stuff long before Caitlin Clark got here, and y'all wasn't paying attention then. But now, the young white girl comes along, and y'all want to sit up there and shower all of this praise and all of this attention that was earned before she ever came along. The resentment is understandable, but it's not about Caitlin Clark, it's about what she represents. My point is, grow up.
The WNBA tripped over its own shoelaces just when it seemed like everything was finally falling into place, ready to ride Caitlin Clark's rocket ship into mainstream relevance and serious revenue. And when I say tripped, I mean a full-on faceplant. For the rest of the season, the league's one-woman ratings machine, the only player truly keeping the turnstiles turning, will be sidelined.
Let's find out what the rest of the WNBA is going to do in terms of popularity. Yep. You've been saying up and down that, whether tacitly or directly, that, she's getting too much shine, even though we respect and what have you. We deserve our shine. Well, now's a perfect opportunity for you to prove that. If not, acknowledge her impact on the financial aspects that she brings to the table, adopt the mentality that a rising tide lifts all boats, and learn to have an elevated level of appreciation for what she has brought to the game and assist her in making the league even more profitable.
It was an instant meltdown. Fans are outraged. Talk shows are in overdrive, and Stephen A. Smith is so fired up, he looks like he might levitate. He's calling out everyone in sight. Meanwhile, in classic form, Angel Reese is playing up a supposed back issue, right on cue for her personal brand strategy, joined by the usual WNBA enforcers and Commissioner Kathy Engelbert. If you're siding with Caitlin, drop a baby goat, not a baby giraffe. You know what to do.
But you have to be cognizant that no matter how you step out of your house, you are now Angel Reese. And you will always be picked apart, unfortunately.
She knows this social media. She is not dumb. She's quite a brilliant young lady. She's very smart, very accomplished. And on top of it all, she is in this age where she does know social media exists. And she has exploited it to her advantage. And so when you take that into consideration, that means you're mindful of the imagery and the perception that you're assisting in creating about yourself.
Let's take a moment here. Caitlin Clark is the reason women's basketball became must-see TV. Before her, the only person bragging about catching a WNBA game was probably your ultra-competitive cousin. But Clark, she had people rearranging dinner plans just to catch her pulling up from the logo. So what's the league's role in all this? Apparently, to run her into the ground. Now the WNBA is scrambling to spin this as business as usual, even as the product starts breaking down faster than Angel Reese's shot selection.
Unfortunately, though, the celebration in the WNBA, it was cut short yesterday afternoon as WNBA players learned the harsh lesson: be careful what you wish for. Headline at the New York Post. Caitlin Clark sidelined with Indiana Felines announcing shock injury. Keyword: shock. This injury was shocking, but not for reasons that you may think.
Naturally, Stephen A. Smith was the first to blow a gasket over the whole spectacle. But he didn't just offer a quick take. ESPN's Mike King absolutely erupted. While league reps fumbled through awkward get-well-soon sound bites, Stephen A. showed up like a one-man firestorm. He went after the refs. He went after the league. He even called out the jealous players who've been taking shots at Caitlin Clark since day one. Finally, someone said what everyone else was too afraid to.
Fanatics also reported a 100% increase in sales for WNBA-specific merchandise. It started with Caitlin Clark. And so now that we know all of this, and we've known that for months, now we get to turn around and look and see What exactly is it that the league will do?
It was more than simple commentary. Stephen delivered like a prosecutor laying out evidence before a jury. Piece by piece, the WNBA's failures were exposed. Referees looked clueless, executives seemed lost, and the Angel Reese incident was just another humiliating chapter. His message was clear. Do you really believe this league can survive without Caitlin Clark? Look at the numbers and try not to break down.
Thanks to Clark, Indiana led the league in attendance both at home and on the road. The Fever averaged 17,035 fans at home and over 15,000 on the road. 4 teams moved home games to bigger arenas when Indiana came to town to accommodate more fans. That's about Caitlin Clark. How do we know this? Attendance for the entire league was up nearly 50% last year. According to data from across the timeline, and Indiana led all teams with an average attendance of 17,035. That was up 319% from the year earlier.
Shall we check the numbers? This season, games with Clark averaged 1.178 million viewers. Without her, a paltry 394,000. That's not a decline, it's a free fall. The drop is so brutal, it's as if the league plunged off a cliff. Yet players like Angel Reese still complain about Clark stealing the spotlight. Newsflash, maybe spending more time polishing her game than curating Instagram would help. Fans care about Caitlin Clark. Angel Reese? Most people just roll their eyes.
We'll find out. We don't know yet, but I'm going to be really, really interested in seeing, Molly, what kind of effect this has on the WNBA's ratings. Because if for some reason there is a precipitous drop-off, then everybody needs to stand down and recognize the fact that the speculation or the assertions and assumptions about her being the golden goose is validated.
The golden goose has been found, and Stephen A. knows it. His frustration didn't come out of nowhere. He's been watching the WNBA fumble for months. He's seen legends like Cheryl Swoops tear down Clark as if jealousy were a full-time job. He's watched Angel Reese milk every opportunity to play the victim in the media. And in casual chatter, he's noticed Commissioner Engelbert brush off Clark's rise as mere coincidence, when in reality, she's the only reason the league is still breathing.
You asked me about Caitlin. If you're going to break a record, to me, if it's legitimate, you have to break that record in the same amount of time that that player set it.
Okay.
Right? So if Kelsey Plum set that record in 4 years, well, Caitlin should have broke that record in 4 years. But because there's a COVID year and then there's another year, you know what I mean? So she's already had an extra year to break that record. So is it truly a broken record?
Engelbert's leadership is so absurd, it borders on satire. The league lucks into a once-in-a-generation star, the one player capable of dragging them into the spotlight. And how does she handle it? With bland press releases and zero plan to protect Clark from nightly beatdowns. It's like finding a genie in a bottle and wasting your wish on a slightly bigger bottle. Pure incompetence.
I noticed when you're asking about Caitlin a lot, you bring up other rookies as well.
No league's ever about one player. That player could get hurt or whatever. So I think it's just to give recognition that in sports, people watch for compelling content and rivalries. And you can't do that alone as one person.
Stephen A. is shouting from the rooftops, "I told you so." And honestly, he's earned it. He's been hammering the obvious all along. Caitlin Clark isn't just the WNBA's biggest star. She is the WNBA. Without her, the league fades back into irrelevant background noise. Now she's sidelined, and the league is scrambling to explain how its only draw got beaten up and benched. Even in his rant, Stephen A. cut to the truth. If Clark is the magnet pulling millions of eyeballs, then shut up, protect her, and ride the wave. Translation? Stop pretending this is some collective movement. It's not. Clark is carrying the league on her back. And if you can't see that, You don't deserve a dime of the money her presence is putting in your pockets.